What's up, everybody? Well, why do I have that there? Hold on. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, Money E, with my brother, Chris. How are you, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. It was another pretty good NFL week. Eagles won. That's always good. I mean, was there any upset? Oh no, the Rams upset the Bills, but that was a close, really good game. But let's get to the recap. So Chris, you went 3-5 this week. You're 52 and 52. I went 4-4, 16-44. Let's see. NFL. So you both had the Packers to win last Thursday. That was a good game as we expected. It wasn't as high scoring game as we probably both thought, but it was still there. The Packers were in the game. They had a chance to win that game. Let's see. What were the stats for that game? Yeah. Lions won 34-31. I had the exact score, but I had the Packers winning. But yeah, the Lions won in the last second with a field goal, and the Packers had mistakes that they could have won the game, but some mistakes cost them the game. What were your thoughts on the?
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, it was very competitive, more competitive than I thought it would be. But yeah, it delivered.
Yeah, I mean it was high scoring. I forgot it was 34-31, but yeah, the overhit easily. I thought the Packers played well enough to win. Obviously, they were in it into the end. Just some mistakes just happen, and that's the way football goes in these games. These divisional games, and the Lions find a way to win again. Yeah, right now they are the clear best team. Not the clear best team, but they are the best team in the NFL despite their injuries on defense, which could come back to haunt them in the playoffs. Come the playoff time, because it's going to be more competitive and more different game in the playoffs. When you have those injuries, it's going to come back and bite you.
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I mean they got some players to replace the players they got that were injured, but it can only take so many injuries, and the injuries keep piling up for them, which is unfortunate. Because I actually do like the Lions. If the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, I would like them to win the Super Bowl. Them or the Bills, so it would be nice to see one of them win it. But we'll see. We'll see if we play them in the playoffs. It sucks that we don't play them in the regular season this year.
I know, but it'll be good to see to have that first matchup in the playoffs, especially with the current iterations of each team. So
exactly. And both teams have tough matchups at home this week, and we'll get to those matchups. But yeah, what's that? Next game, we both had the Eagles. I mean, I didn't get to see this game, But what were your thoughts on the game? I kept track of it, but
I had a feeling it was going to be one of those games where, it was going to be close for no reason, especially after that news of the $3 million bet came in. So I'm not.
yeah.
I mean, people are freaking out over it. I'm not. Every
Yeah, I heard about
every
that.
contender has every contender has gone through. Yeah, every contender has gone through tough games, right? No one's winning games in and out. Like Lions almost lost to the Bears, Chiefs almost lose every single week, Bills just lost to the Rams. Like it just happens, and people are freaking out because it's the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers haven't been good this year, but they've
been
been
competitive.
good lately. Yeah,
They took the Chiefs to the wire. People forget that. They nearly won that game.
yep.
So, the record sometimes doesn't speak for what the team is playing, how the team is playing, because sometimes you could be 2-8 and the team is still playing competitive. But yeah, so the $3 million bet was on the spread, obviously.
That was on the money line.
Oh, money line, okay. But yeah, I said it last week. I said they have to be careful with this game because the Panthers are those. It's one of those feisty teams that you don't want to overlook. So I knew they would win, but I had a feeling they would kind of play down to them. I don't know. Is that what you think they did, or they just?
They just couldn't move the ball. The Panthers played good. They had a good run game. Our defense didn't do much to stop them. Yeah, I think maybe we just played down to that. Yeah, it's just a weird game, but it's all right.
It was a trap game. It was in the middle of the Ravens and Steelers. So, but yeah, good game. You both had. Oh no, you had the Browns. I had the Steelers. Speaking of Steelers, they win. I would say pretty easily against the Browns at home, getting their revenge from 3 weeks ago. I don't have really any thoughts on this, but the Steelers, they won.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I didn't see any of the game, so I don't know if you have any thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I didn't really watch that game. Steelers are just a really, really boring team. Browns are a boring team to me too. So I just have no interest in watching the Steelers.
Exactly. The Dolphins and Jets. Once again, the Jets had a lead in the game, and they do what the Jets do. They blow it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story of the Jets season. Have a lead the last couple of weeks and just blow it in the fourth quarter. Story of the Jets season.
So bad. So bad.
I feel for Jets fans. They invested in this team because they were made to believe that this was going to be a contender, and here they are. What else? Seahawks and Cardinals. I had the Cardinals. You had the Seahawks. The Seahawks are good. They impressed me. Their defense is good. Geno Smith continues to prove that he's a solid quarterback in this league. You have a good trio of wide receivers. People forget about Tyler Lockett, but he's still there. And DK and JS. Is it JS? What's that name?
JSN.
Yeah. I had him on my fantasy team, so yeah. they continue to prove people wrong, and I think they're going to win that division. Maybe San Francisco has a key game tomorrow night against the Rams, so San Francisco is still a 4-team rate. I mean, everybody in this division is competitive, and every team in this division can win the division. It's just going to be a matter of who gets hot at the end. And right now, the Seahawks are that hot team, and who knows? It could be the Niners in a couple weeks. I mean, there's only 3 weeks left, but in 3 weeks, the Niners could be. Do they play the Seahawks again, or do they already?
I'm not sure. I think they already did twice.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at the Niners schedule real quick. Oh, the Niners have the Dolphins and the Lions and Cardinals. Wow, okay. They have the Lions still. So yeah, that division is going to come down to the last week, as I said last week too. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Seahawks?
They're hanging around. I think Geno Smith's a really good quarterback. I think they'll be good for years to come. It's Mike McDonald's first year, I believe. So,
yep. He's a good young coach. Where did he come from? I forget.
He was the defensive coordinator, I believe, in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a real good young head coach, and I think the Seahawks are going to be competitive for years. I don't know Geno's the future, but he's the present right now. I don't know if they would get a quarterback to be the backup, but that's not here or there. Geno Smith is proving people wrong. He's a solid quarterback, and Sam Darnold is proving people wrong too. Isn't it amazing when a quarterback that people wrote off, like Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, by the way, 2 former Jet quarterbacks. how these I wonder how Jet fans are feeling seeing Darnold and Geno Smith being successful, and they have future Hall of Famer and Aaron Rodgers, and they're watching him his career to go to shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. They had Geno Smith and Sam Darnold too. It's just amazing that those two found new homes and found the right coaches to coach them. Sometimes it just takes the right coach to coach the quarterback. Not always the quarterback. Sometimes it's the coach. No. And with Geno, he had a head coach change too. And he's still doing good.
Yeah, he needed that head coach change.
Yep. This is his because he had Pete Carroll last year and McDonald this year, and they're both defensive coaches. So even with the coaching change, he's still doing well. So I'm happy for Geno and Sam Darnold proving people wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they deserve it.
The Chargers. I want to say shit the bet against the Chiefs. That game was so boring. I watched the first half because I had props on it, but after halftime, I changed the channel. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Yeah, that was bad.
I can't watch the Chiefs game. They are so boring. And there's a lot of people that are saying the same thing. Besides Chiefs fans, obviously, but a lot of people think they're a boring team. I don't know what I don't know if they're just doing this on purpose and they're gonna turn it up in the playoffs like some NBA teams do in the NBA, but they're playing like I wouldn't say soft, but they're just playing conservative. I know your thoughts on the Chiefs. You think the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We're so used to them being explosive and be able to move the ball on. The offensive line sucks right now. Mahomes is consistently under pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was rough.
Those days of Chiefs being explosive are behind us. Travis Kelsey is the shell of himself. I mean, I don't want to say a shell of himself. He's just not involved in the offense as much as he used to be.
Yeah, I think they're gonna save him for the playoffs.
Yeah, I know we trash on the Chiefs now, but they'll probably end up going to the Super Bowl again. But I hope not. I can't take another Chiefs Super Bowl victory. Cowboys and Bengals. This was actually more competitive game than I thought. Bengals won 27-20. But yeah, this was a good game. CD Lamb and Jamar Chase had fantastic games. Jamar Chase proving he is the best receiver in football and worthy of that contract. He hasn't gotten a new contract yet, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, he's proving he should be getting it after this season. So, yeah. And then CD Lamb finally got an end zone. I hit on the first touchdown.
Yeah, he was going off in the first half.
Yeah. I just had a feeling that CD was due for a touchdown. So that's why I kept betting it every week. He was due. But yeah, the Cowboys were competitive, and it was a better game than the Sunday night football game. So it was Cowboys season is officially probably over at 5-8, and the Bengals are the Bengals still in that race? Can they still get this last spot? Let me see. Playoff. I mean, the Bengals are in 10th right now. They are 3 games back from the Bengals. So when the Broncos. So they would need to run the table and hope the Broncos lose out in order to make the probably playoffs. But that's the story of the Bengals season. They had some games they should have won, and they would probably be in the playoff race right now. They would probably win the division if they won those games. The Bengals are better than their record. They're one of those teams that are better than their record, but couldn't get the job done at the end. It's unfortunate because they are a fun team to watch.
Yep, I agree.
Chase Brown is emerging into a top running back. Jamar Chase. Burrow is proving that he's still one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. And then T. Higgins is still a good, solid second receiver. So if they can get their defense together, I think they'll be back next year.
Yeah, their defense. I mean, it's funny because Trey Hendrickson leads the league in sacks, but their defense is atrocious. So
yeah, other than that, yeah. I don't think they're gonna fire Zach Taylor, but because I think it's one of those seasons where they had some wins, but they couldn't get the job done. So I think his job is safe, but you never know in the NFL.
yeah,
Especially because Bill Belichick is out there wanting to coach. You never know.
now Belichick just signed with UNC.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I
I
thought
don't
that
know
was
if he signed, but it's pretty much where it's headed.
heading.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I thought that was just rumors.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they were rumors, but meet Wednesday to approve hire of wow. Yeah. Wow. Bill Belichick's going to college football. Who would have thought that?
I think he wanted full control, and there's not that many places that would give him that.
Yeah, but I didn't think he would go and coach in college football in today's college football. That's why I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised he actually wanted to coach in college. Because I didn't think he would want to coach in this era of college football, especially because he's never coached in college, right?
He might have early on in his career.
Yeah, I just didn't think at his age, because there's several coaches at his age that don't want to coach in this era, like Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer might come back actually, but yeah, there's a lot of coaches that have retired because in it, like this new era of NRL, NRI, or whatever it's called, NIR.
NIL, yeah.
Yeah, but good for him. I'm surprised that he wanted to go to college. I thought he wanted to go back to the NFL, but I guess because the Eagles draft not open up, and I guess he didn't. I thought there was a chance he might maybe go to the. I don't know. Other than the Eagles, I don't know where he would go. Oh, maybe the Giants, but I don't think he wants to go there. But yeah, let's get to our picks. Tomorrow night, Thursday night football. We have a good one. Rams and Niners. Rams 7-6 versus Niners 6-7. Niners 2.5 point favorite. Over under is 49.5. I have the Niners. Chris has the Niners. I think the Rams coming off the big win against the Bills, facing the Niners. I think they beat the Niners earlier in the season, right? Today,
Yeah.
yeah. The Rams beat them 27-24 like a month ago. A month ago. That was in September last week.
Yeah, I think they played earlier in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, they played earlier in the season in September. The Rams won 27-24. So I think the Niners get revenge, and they usually split these series. So, and the Niners need to win, get back to 500. So I think they win here at home.
Yeah, I think Shanahan has a pretty good record against McVay, so I think the Niners are trying to get healthy. So
yeah. Would it surprise me if the Rams actually won? No, because the Rams are actually pretty good. They have a good offense. Stafford is not the old Stafford, but he's still a solid quarterback. So it wouldn't surprise me if they won, because I think they're the more healthy team.
yeah.
I'll be right back. Let's turn on the light. The weather's been weird. It's 62 degrees today.
Yeah, it's pouring rain here.
Yes, kind of gloomy here. But yeah, we will have the 49ers. I think it's gonna be a competitive game, as it always is. So should be a good game. Next game we have Dolphins and Texans. I have the Dolphins here, and you have the Texans. I think the Dolphins get back to 500. The Texans don't necessarily need to win the game. I think the Dolphins need this more, but they want to be in the playoff hunt. They want to stay one game back from the Broncos, because right now they are 9th, and they're tied with Indianapolis and one game back from Denver. So, and the Texans, They need this game. I wouldn't say they need this game, but I think the Dolphins come out with the upset here. I think they need. I think they're the more desperate team.
Yeah. I picked the Texans just because they're at home. I think. I don't know. This is a tricky game just because Dolphins, I feel like, are always dangerous in terms of putting up points.
Yep.
They haven't been doing that a lot lately, except I think they did a lot this past week. But I think the
Yeah,
Texans just kind of been underwhelming this year. But
yeah, they haven't been the explosive Dolphins like last year.
yeah,
They've had some explosive games, but those were against bad teams. But they haven't been the like college football because they used to be like this college football offense. They used to do because Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Yeah, Waddle and Hill haven't been the same receivers they were last year, especially
no,
Waddle.
especially Waddle. Yeah,
But I think it's because the injuries to Tua and they just got off to a bad start. And they couldn't recover. They're like the Bengals. Couldn't recover from losses. But I think the Dolphins get back to 500. But do I think they can lose this game? Absolutely, because they're on the road and they just beat the Jets, and you never know what Dolphins team's going to show up. So, and then the big one, the Battle PA. I think this is the first Eagles game that we disagree on this season. You have the Eagles, I have the Steelers. I can see the Eagles winning, but I just have this feeling the Steelers are gonna win. I don't know. I think the Eagles might be due for a loss, but I say that, but then they probably win. But I don't know.
Yeah, this is tough, but I ultimately went the Eagles just because I think people are gonna hammer the Steelers, thinking, "Oh, Eagles are done. They're about to fall apart again." But I think that they're gonna figure out the passing game this week, and
Yep.
So
I'm not convinced the Steelers not 100%, but I just have this feeling the Steelers going to win. But sometimes when I go against the Eagles, they win. So hopefully they win.
yeah,
So, it's a 50-50 game to me. You can go either way. I wouldn't say the Steelers or the Eagles, but I don't know. There's just something about this game. If we have Washington on deck.
Early looking online. Early handles 72% of the handles on
Steelers
spread.
Ooh, yeah.
So Steelers blow out the Browns last week. Eagles almost lose. It's a perfect setup. So
yeah. I'll say this. I'll say the Eagles will either lose, just like I said with the Lions. The Lions would either lose to the Packers or Bills. I'm going to say the Eagles are either going to lose this week or next week.
Yeah, I think they lose against the Commanders.
Yeah, I think they should move that game to Sunday night, but I don't know because that's a 1:00 game right now. But I could see either result here. So, but go Birds.
Yep.
Next game is Buccaneers and Chargers. Buccaneers is 7-6. Chargers are 8-5. We both have the Chargers here. But as I said with the Eagles game, I wouldn't be surprised the Buccaneers came into LA and won. They need to win too. these last 3 weeks, you're gonna see these teams that are fighting for a playoff spot probably win or upset these teams that are not locked in, but kind of locked in the playoff spot. The Chargers are. So I'm gonna say the Chargers are locked in, but um, they're close to it. And this line is fish. This line's kind of fishy. Only 3.
Yeah, I expect the Chargers to be more, especially since the Bucks might not even make the playoffs. I mean, I think they probably will because they won the division, but they're not. I don't think they're that good of a team.
Yeah.
Seems kind of low.
And we'll get to the other game who they're fighting for the division, the Buccaneers, in the moment. But the Buccaneers are fighting for the division more than the wild card because the division's more wide open, more there for the taking. So yeah, we both have the Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers went in there and won because Baker's that guy. And they have Mike Evans back, so they have their top receiver back. And the Chargers are not an explosive team either. So we saw that last week against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, they like to play that, game. They like to play football in the trenches, like to run the ball. They run the ball a lot more.
Yep.
Justin Herbert's a lot more accurate. He's not passing as much this year. Yeah. So
they're playing like Michigan of last year. But last game, no, Seahawks and Packers on Sunday Night Football. We will have the Seahawks here. My best bet of the week comes from this game. I think the Seahawks win here. They're at home. It's hard to play in Seattle, as you know. This is just a bad travel spot for the Packers coming off the Detroit game. I know they had 10 days of rest, but I think this is a bad travel spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFC West visiting NFC North team visiting NFC West, where the home team usually covers. So I think the Seahawks cover. I don't know if they win, but I think they cover.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Packers are the favorite here. Are you surprised the Packers are the favorite?
The look ahead line before the Packers lost was 4.5, and then it dropped to 2.5. I don't know why this. I think the Packers are just the better team. I think if it was in Green Bay, I think it'd be a 4.5 to 5.5 point spread. I think the Seahawks has just been too inconsistent. That's probably why.
Yeah, I guess because the Packers are in a more competitive division. I'm not high on the Packers like a lot of people, but I can see why they're the favorites. But I'm just a bit surprised because Seattle is usually the favorite at home, especially in Seattle. But you both have the Seahawks. You have the Seahawks winning too?
I had the Seahawks winning because I think they're going to cover. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to win, but, I'm picking the spread, and so therefore I'm picking them, at least for this exercise, picking them to win.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game, I think. It's always a good game between these two. For some reason, we have a double-header Monday Night Football game in December. And this is the weird doubleheader because thank God for the doubleheader because I think the Falcons and Raiders are the main game I believe. It's on ESPN. The Falcons and Raiders. Um, I have the Raiders here. I think they upset the Falcons because it's in Vegas, and I like to take. Sometimes I like to take the Raiders in a prime time spot, and especially when they're at home because it's Vegas. I think the Raiders are due for a win. I mean, I know it's the Raiders. I don't think the Falcons are that good either. So
No, Kirk Cousins, I'm like, has thrown a. I forget what the stat is. Maybe he hasn't thrown a touchdown or something like that in the last couple games.
yeah,
So
and we know his record on Monday night too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just remembered that. So yeah, I have the Raiders here because I think it's in Vegas in prime time. In Vegas, kind of shady, not shady, but kind of weird. It is in Vegas. I'm skeptical of primetime games in Vegas. But you have the Falcons just because the Raiders are.
I think they're a better team. It was difficult to choose, but I think the Falcons are the better team. But yeah Raiders in Vegas scare me.
Yep. Especially primetime games. Because everybody's going to be on the Falcons. Especially because it's a doubleheader, and then the Vikings and Bears, everybody's probably going to be on the Vikings, so they probably want at least one underdog to win or cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of that next game, Vikings and Bears. The Vikings are, what are they? 7-point favorites. That's high. The Bears are plus 245 on the money line. You have the Bears, I have the Vikings. I think the Vikings win, but I think the Bears cover. The Bears have been covering, but they haven't been finishing the job. They're like the Bengals. And that's in that way.
Yeah, I like the Bears. I think they're going to surprise some people this week. Just my prediction.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings can afford to drop a game or two, but I think the Bears are gonna win.
Yeah. As I said with the Eagles, I think the Vikings are due for a loss too. Oh, did we skip over? We skipped over the Lions and Bills. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll do that last since it's probably the best game of the week. Bills and Lions. We both have the Bills here. I think the Lions are, as I said with the Eagles and Vikings, I think the Lions are due for a loss. I think this is the spot where the Bills end their streak, just like they ended the Chiefs streak. I think it's going to be a highly competitive game and a great game. Probably the best, maybe one of the best games of the season.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a barn burner. I can see the over just hitting and it's just back and forth, back and forth. I think it's probably going to be. I think it's probably the most anticipated game this year so far.
Yep. And it sucks they're going against the Eagles and Steelers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, those are the 4 teams that
Tom
could
Brady's
make
calling
the final.
Tom Brady's calling the Eagles game, and Romo's calling the Bills game.
I think so.
The Bills. Yeah, the Bills game's on CBS, so Romo's calling that game, and Brady's calling our game, I think. So I don't know if that's the first Brady versus Romo primetime spot. I'm not primetime, but 4:00 spot. They're going against each other. They might have earlier, but yeah, 2 competitive games at the same time. It's going to be fantastic to watch. But yeah, our power rankings, our MVPs this week. You have Jamar Chase, I have Williams. They both had great games. They were both key in their team's win. So they both had two touch. No, I think Williams had one, but Williams played well, and Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, 2 touchdowns, game-winning touchdown. Yeah, just a great game overall. He's unstoppable.
Yep, he's been on fire lately. Same thing with Williams. Our power rankings for last week. I had the Lions, Eagles, Bills, Packers, Steelers. You had Lions, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and Steelers. This week, I have the Lions, Eagles, Vikings, Bills, and Steelers. I still left off the Chiefs because they just don't impress me. So I can't put them in my top 5. I know they're 12-1, but I just can't. In your top 5, Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills and Steelers. So we have this same 4 of the 5, but you just have the Chiefs. I have the Steelers, and I understand why you put the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the best record in the league, so
Yep.
kind of have to.
Yeah. I mean, for me, they're number 6. They're still number 6, but until they have that, I don't think they're gonna have that great game. But for now, I'm keeping them at the top 5. But our fantasy players of the week. It's playoff season. Unfortunately, I didn't make the playoffs in any of my leagues, which sucks. But hey, yeah, we both had it. We both initially had AJ Brown, but I changed mine to Devontae Smith. So, I think they're both. One of them is going to go off. I think probably more AJ Brown, but it wouldn't surprise me if Devontae goes off too. But yeah, I'm assuming you have AJ because of the reports of whatever those reports.
Yeah, they're gonna force feed him like 20 targets. So
Yep. Same thing with Devontae. Didn't he speak out too?
he might have, but it was mainly AJ. So
yeah,
I think it's all over.
Yeah, I just it's the same BS that we was from last year. Hopefully it doesn't end the same result, but it's AJ Brown just that I wouldn't say drama wide receiver, but I think people are blowing that out of proportion. It's not what it was last year.
Yeah.
I think they're blowing the relationship between him and Hurst out of proportion. I think they still have a good relationship. I just think people blow it out of proportion. But yeah, our Thursday night bet. I have the under in the 49ers game tomorrow, and you have the Niners spread. I like the under because I don't think the Niners are explosive anymore because they don't have CMC. And I think I want to say the Rams are explosive. They scored 43 last week, but I think because they scored 43, I think they have a down week with scoring. So I see like a 24-17 game. And the Niners spread, you said it earlier, you think because the Niners are desperate. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I like the Niners. I think they're desperate. I think Shanahan kind of gets the better of McVay. So yeah, whenever they play each other. The guy has a rank with Shanahan. I'm pretty sure has the head-to-head record.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I have the Niners too. I have the under. So I think it's gonna be competitive, but not high scoring. I don't know what the weather is in San Francisco, but it could be raining. It is San Francisco. Or final or week 15 bets. I have the Seahawks money line, and you have the Eagles spread. You said it earlier. You said the Eagles were going to cover, and I think you said the Seahawks are going to cover. I think they're going to cover. I mean, obviously cover and win. So, yeah, we said all this earlier. So, any more final thoughts on this? On your bets?
Nope, that's all I got.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. What else? No more. It's gonna be a couple good games. You have the Eagles, Steelers. You have the Vikings and Bears. Gonna be competitive. Bills and Lions. And then tomorrow night you have Niners and Rams. So there's a lot of good action this week. Should be another good week. We have 3 more weeks left in the season after this week. Wow, 3 more weeks, right?
Yeah.
We have the Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants after this. So the rest of our games are divisional games. Yeah, and the Giants game is the only one that's away. So yeah, should be another good week. Thanks, Chris. Listen on Friday night, wrestling through the years. We'll be doing part 2 of our top 10 underrated baby faces. And we'll be reviewing 1989 Saturday night main event. Main event's coming back at this Saturday, so we're doing 1989 October 4th, I think. So we'll be reviewing that, and then Saturday for When Tunes Combine, me and Doug will be doing cartoon matchup. It's like the AEW classic, so we'll be doing that. We'll be 4 cartoons: Simpsons, Sonic the Hedgehog, Ninja Turtles, and Captain Planet. Will be giving scores for 4 different categories. So seeing which one is the best out of that. But thanks everybody. Thanks Chris, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later. Oh, and listen to when Stabcast on Sunday for Mindy and Daniel.